It might not look like it. In fact, let's be real, it really doesn't look like it when you watch a fight like this. But bare knuckle boxing might be safer than the gloved boxing we've all become accustomed to. In a bid to find out, we travelled to Manchester. We wanted to talk to the promotion that are spreading this message and watch some bare knuckle boxing for ourselves. They're called UBKB, or Ultimate Bare Knuckle Boxing, and their website makes a pretty big point about fighter safety. They're run and owned by Amanda Smith, Stu Armstrong and Sean Smith, who you might recognise from the Vice documentary The UK's Scariest Debt Collector.
I'm fucking dead serious here, right? Really fucking dead serious. You know me, I don't give shit, I don't take shit. Here's how serious I'm gonna be. I'm gonna sell the fucking key in my fucking chimney, you cheeky twat.
Their motto? You can fix broken bones but you can't mend broken brains. Referring to the long-term brain damage that we now know can be caused by repeated blows to the head. In the course of our investigation, we met some pretty interesting characters.
They think I'm fucking crazy if I'm honest, obviously.
If you don't like it, don't look at it. Go watch Coronation Street or something, you know what I mean?
He's been to work today, but nice. Class shot.
If I'm getting fucking cut up, so's he.
We ended up pretty close to the action. But first, we wanted to talk to this man here, Stu Armstrong. Stu was one of the owners and runners of UBKB, and he's written a lot on the subject of long-term fighter safety in bare knuckle boxing.
Thank you. Oh, you can actually see like little bits of blood on the side, can't you? Little bits here.
Very often people think, it's really brutal, it looks really bad for being cuts or broken jaws, broken noses. But they're the more superficial things, as silly as it sounds. It's brain damage that is really the problem. Bare knuckle proven safer in a lot of different ways. Main reason being, a lot less headshots are thrown. If you can imagine, if you're punching a skull, odds on, you might break their skull, you might break your own hand. Very much so wrists as well. You'll notice a lot of fighters, when they have the hand wrapped, they strap right the way up the wrist. They throw a lot less headshots, so there's a lot less head trauma for the fighters. The gloves are there to protect the hands and not people's heads. The volume of the glove hitting the head makes the brain literally rattle in the cerebral fluid from side to side in the skull, and that's what causes the brain damage, the CTE, pugilistic dementia. You may not notice that straight away, most people don't. You look pretty unscathed off a fight, you're not covered in blood, you haven't got a broken bone or something like that, but in years to come, it can be a horrendous thing.
So do you think part of the reason that you're so into bare knuckle boxing is that it's better for fighter safety?
That is definitely a very, very big concern, is the fighter safety. There's a wealth of knowledge out there, but it tends not to be shared very much. Whether that's because there's so much money in glove boxing, people do want it out there, I don't know.
Okay. Stu and others throughout this video repeatedly make the claim that bare knuckle boxing is safer than gloved boxing. Is there any substance to that? Short answer, maybe yes. Long answer, it's complicated. All boxing was bare knuckle until 1867, when this guy, the Marquis of Queensberry, sponsored a new set of rules, which became known as the Marquis of Queensberry rules. Clearly they weren't feeling too imaginative when they decided to name them. They introduced gloves into the sport. So, what difference did it make? A claim that's sometimes made by bare knuckle boxing supporters is that there haven't been any deaths in bare knuckle boxing compared to glove boxing, where there have been plenty of deaths, including a British boxer who died just earlier this year. But, as it turns out, there have been deaths in bare knuckle boxing. A man called Manuel Velasquez, who didn't like any boxing, curated a list of all of the deaths in the history of boxing. It was carried on by others after his death, most recently in 2011, meaning it's slightly out of date, which funnily enough means that it refers to Donald Trump as nothing more than a casino owner, but it still serves a purpose for us. The collection documents 259 deaths that occurred in boxing before gloves were introduced, debunking the claim that bare knuckle boxing has never caused any deaths. But something interesting happens with the data after gloves are introduced. Yeah. A lot more deaths. Correlation isn't causation, so there could be a number of reasons why more deaths have been recorded. Have there been more fights? Have more people trained harder and become stronger? Are we better at keeping records than we were in 1867? The answer is probably yes to all of those, but there still might be something behind the idea that bare knuckle boxing is safer. This study, again a bit dated, which is why it's got this cool typewriter font, looked at punching speed and force, and found that boxing gloves give a person a more powerful punch. We now know that repeated blows to the head can cause something called CTE, otherwise known as pugilistic dementia, or punch drunk syndrome. This is likely one of the things that affected Muhammad Ali, and what affected Stu's friend, as he mentioned earlier.
Muhammad Ali made a rare public appearance last night.
CTE has been found in the brains of 99% of NFL players, according to one study, and dementia or amnesia was found in almost 62% of glove boxers in another study. But what about bare knuckle boxing? It does see less concussions than glove boxing, which might help in the long term, but we should note here that the study on bare knuckle boxing was written by the American promotion BKFC's chief medical officer. So, a lot of talking, what does that all mean? For the long-term health of your brain, and as long as you don't mind some superficial injuries, you might actually be better off getting in the ring without any gloves on, but that does come with two caveats. Number one, we could really do with some more research into this. And number two, none of this is risk-free, something that UBKB openly admit.
Do you worry about head injuries?
Not really. No, not really. No, not at all. I think you've always got to, that's why you train, that's why you have the safety in place, and that's why you keep your guard up at all times. But it's just this sort of the thrill. There is a risk, but I think that's what makes people that are up for it. I think that's what makes them want to do it.
I obviously have a gloved background, and then I found this promotion in Germany who did boxing and MMA gloves, and then they changed to bare knuckle, and I was like, I quite fancy that. It's bucket list almost. And then the bucket list has turned into a pastime stroke part-time career, I guess.
Does it actively play on your mind the risk of injury?
I think it does, because obviously, bar your few mega stars on the BKFC, everyone's got a full-time job. You know, I oddly enough, people laugh when I say this, but I'm an accountant by day.
Really?
Yeah. So people find that a bit mind-boggling, really. But I don't work with my hands any more so than a bricklayer, for example, and that's not looking at a bricklayer in a different way, but they use their hand to build things. I use my hands to type on the keyboard, so we all need our hands. And that is the riskiest thing with, I think, bare knuckle is we can all take a shot, we can all go into work, battered, bruised, cuts, whatever else, but when you break your hand, that's a real risk to the family home, the family income, and your livelihood, really.
Yeah. What do your colleagues think about it at work?
They think I'm fucking crazy, if I'm honest, obviously. That being said, I mean, like, our finance director messaged me today saying good luck tonight, you know, that kind of thing. So I think they kind of, they dig it.
How are you feeling right now?
Feeling good. Wee bit nervous energy, but that's to be expected. You know, no, I'm looking forward to it.
How do you prepare before a fight?
It's just dedication, commitment. You know, it's a lot of sacrifice. You know, I train maybe twice a day sometimes. All boxing, running, circuits, strength training. There's a lot goes into this, you know. It's sort of pulling away from the sort of hay bales, and you know, it's sort of becoming more mainstream now. So it's, when people see bare knuckle boxing, you know, they turn the nose up at it. But if you don't like it, don't look at it. Go watch Coronation Street or something. You know what I mean?
What makes you wake up and go, this is what I need to go and do today?
It's just the thrill of it. If you put the hard work in and you've made all the sacrifices and then you get your hand raised, there's no better feeling.
Yeah.
It's a buzz that you can never describe.
Do you reckon your hand's going to get raised today?
Of course.
Of course. Love that confidence. Love that confidence. Thank you for chatting with us. Yeah? Yeah? See you in the ring. Good luck.
Ladies and gents, first of all, your judges tonight is Mr. Mark Kane, Mr. Paul Harding, and the one and only Disco Dave. Your timekeeper is Lee Rummins, and once again we have full medical staff at the ringside because you
it, Danny. Sees it, Danny. His body language. There you go. See, double shots every time. You can see it. But 3 rounds of bare knuckle boxing, people don't realise how much it impacts your hands. So we say let your hands go now, but you might have nothing left in the hands. It might be fucked.
The first fight was over, and I wanted to check in on something that I'd noticed earlier. The name of one of the judges.
The biggest show I've ever seen? Mine. And I'm not saying that because it's me, but I've got the evidence on paper with the work that I had done. He shattered the left-hand side of my skull. Do you take pride in that, the fact that you took a hit that big? 1000%. Yeah. Because, what is it about it? Because it's a legacy to me. So not only do I have one of the strongest punches landed on me, and I've had all that work, I've also faced a guy in here called Luke Atkin, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I was the only man in bare knuckle boxing to take him 4 rounds. I was the only man in bare knuckle boxing to put him on his ass. But then also, he was the only one in bare knuckle boxing to have the fastest knockout on me in 7 seconds when he smashed my eye socket. So again,
A lot of you being smashed here.
so again, I hold the legacy. I hold the record in that. To me, it's all about legacy. It's all about being the best of the best. I want to fight the best of the best to prove to me exactly who I am as a guy. If you're not here to fight the best, then what are you even doing here?
Yeah.
That's the disco way.
What do you do day to day, right? Do you live like a double life?
I'm a full-time carer of my son.
Full-time carer of your son?
Full-time. This is why I stepped away from the fight game. He was born with severe brain damage. It took away all of his limbs to be able to walk, talk, and all that. So I am his arms and legs, and it is my full-time job. I look after him day and night, day and night, day and night. It was my son that got me into bare knuckle boxing, because every bare knuckle punch I take to the face, I feel like I'm giving something back to him, because my boy fights every day, but because he can't talk, he can't tell me what pain he's in. So if his daddy can join him, then his daddy will join him, and that's the reason why I do bare knuckle boxing.
Just a few moments later, Dave embraced the disco and slid into the ring to make an announcement.
I believe I can have one last dance, and I'm coming to win. I believe you as a champion, you deserve a fighting man.
Let's go.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Hey, go.
Right, back to the action.
How did that feel? Okay. Okay. You wanted more? Wanted more. I wanted 3 rounds of just bloody battle, really, if I'm honest.
So you're looking for a fight where you can take some more punches, get a bit more involved.
I got to say I've got the dog in me still. You know, I grew up fighting. I got beat up fucking loads on the streets. Not that I lived in the streets, but I took a lot of beatings growing up. I always had that dog in me. I'm in my 30s now. I don't know if it's still there. I just want someone to fucking bring it out.
Anything else you want to say to the world about bare knuckle boxing?
Well, it's just my wife and my little girl, man. It's a proper family thing for me. Like, little girl rides her bike whilst I run. Got my wife into running to keep me fit. She doesn't like it, but she supports me, so I just love them fucking loads. So,
Yeah. Class, mate. Absolutely class. Yeah.
Oh, I felt good in there until I got caught with a massive shot inside the head. It only takes one punch, but I felt good in there.
Why do you do it?
Keeps me out of trouble, and there's no buzz like it. It's nothing compares to it.
Can you describe the rush to me?
Fuck no, unless you've took drugs and stuff, it's better than that.
What makes you do this?
It's my passion. I've been brought into the fight world since I was 6 years of age through my dad. He was a top guy in Britain teaching the SAS and worked the doors as well, security. I've always been in the game of war, but not only by winning yourself, is make sure your opponent's okay as well. And you know, it's professional sport, and nobody wants to see anybody really hurt.
Do you reckon your hand's going to get raised today?
of course.
Long day?
Massively long, but it's been a really good night. What do you think? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I have enjoyed it. It's hard not to enjoy it when you're
different
right
than
by
what
the
you
side.
think?
It was. There was exactly what I was expecting in terms of literally feeling that like primal combat. I don't even know what else to call it. Right on the side, like actually seeing men fists going at each other.
Yeah.
There's you don't even have like the barrier of the gloves, but in terms of injuries, in terms of fighter safety, I could see that care was being taken for the fighters, and that there weren't any horrendous injuries that I saw today.
Yeah, that's the main concern, and you know, injuries do happen in every combat sport, especially in bare knuckle, but we'll try our very best to make it as safe as we can.
What do you think is the future now for bare knuckle boxing?
It's just going to get bigger and bigger. I mean, there's a big American promotion that Conor McGregor's bought a stake into. He's bringing new things into there, so they've just signed a contract with the Zone to stream the bare knuckle. I mean, that's huge for the sport, and it's always been the case. No sort of major network like that would really take it on, and that's down to Conor McGregor getting involved with the Americans. But I don't think they'll ever replace glove boxing. There is a crossover, but it's a very different. You would think it would be very similar. One's got gloves and one hasn't, but it's a very, very different sport. I find anyway. But I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Obviously, as you heard there, we're doing one more show, and we're moving on from the company, so that'll be our last show. And I'm kind of proud that I've played a part in the sport. I've got sort of lasting friends that I keep saying to Sean and Amanda when we're talking about, you're not getting rid of me that easy. Don't just remember, I know where you live and I know where your gym is. You know, so I only need little Geordie turning up. They've been fantastic friends of mine, and you know, they've taken me on a wild ride through this. They made us a partner, which I really didn't expect. I think it's just been a lovely thing to do. And that, it's taken me 10 years to work it out. That is the reason I love the sport so much, is the people and the friendships. It is, they're like family. It's, you're determined to make me cry, aren't you?
Yeah, just right into this camera if you don't mind.
I wasn't far off it before, I've got to admit, so...
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe. It really does more than you could ever think that it does. I know all the YouTubers say that, but there's a reason they say it's true. We'd also like to thank the fantastic Gareth Morgan for sponsoring this video by giving us some free sandwiches. That's the level we're at on YouTube. I'm saying thank you for getting some free sandwiches. So if you do want to sponsor our content, then, you know, feel free to get in touch. Email therealstory@gmail.com. What do you guys want to see next? Leave it in the comments. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. I'm saying leave it in the comments to get more interaction with the video, with the transparency, something you don't see every day. I'm going to stop talking now, so I've stopped embarrassing myself. Thanks for watching.